Welcome to this reading comprehension lesson. In a moment you will hear a short text, and then 5 questions about it. Listen carefully, because every answer is hidden somewhere in the text. The text is called The Economics of Fast Fashion. The fast fashion industry has transformed the way people buy and discard clothing. Garments that once took months to design and produce can now reach store shelves within weeks, thanks to streamlined supply chains and low production costs. While this model has made fashionable clothing more accessible and affordable to a wider public, it has also been widely criticized for its environmental and social consequences. The rapid production cycle encourages a culture of disposability, with many garments worn only a handful of times before being thrown away. Meanwhile, the industry's reliance on cheap labor, often in countries with weaker regulatory protections, has raised persistent concerns about workers' rights and safety. In response, a growing number of consumers are turning towards slow fashion, an approach that emphasizes quality, durability, and ethical production over speed and low prices, even if it usually comes at a higher cost. That was the text. Now here are the 5 questions. Here's a question. What has enabled garments to reach stores within weeks? A. Increased use of expensive materials. B. Streamlined supply chains and low production costs. C. A decrease in consumer demand. D. Stricter labor regulations. The correct answer is B. Streamlined supply chains and low production costs. The text attributes this speed to streamlined supply chains and low production costs. Here's a question. What does a culture of disposability refer to in the text? A. People keeping clothes for many years. B. People recycling clothes regularly. C. People discarding clothes after minimal use. D. People repairing damaged clothes. The correct answer is C. People discarding clothes after minimal use. The text describes many garments worn only a handful of times before being thrown away. Here's a question. What social concern is associated with fast fashion, according to the text? A. Rising clothing prices. B. Excessive quality control. C. A shortage of fashion designers. D. Concerns about workers' rights and safety. The correct answer is D. Concerns about workers' rights and safety. The text mentions concerns about workers' rights and safety linked to cheap labor. Here's a question. What does slow fashion prioritize, according to the text? A. Quality, durability, and ethical production. B. Speed and low prices. C. Mass production. D. Seasonal trends. The correct answer is A. Quality, durability, and ethical production. The text states slow fashion emphasizes quality, durability, and ethical production over speed and low prices. Here's a question. What trade-off does the text associate with slow fashion? A. Lower quality but faster delivery. B. Higher cost but more ethical production. C. Lower cost but poorer quality. D. No noticeable difference in price. The correct answer is B. Higher cost but more ethical production. The text notes slow fashion usually comes at a higher cost in exchange for its other benefits. That is the end of this lesson. You read one text and answered 5 questions about fast fashion. In the next lesson we will read a new text and practice again.